Hi, it's Ken Whitehouse here from Hart, Honda Australia Roadcraft Training. Today I'd like to look at a technique that is not very well understood by a lot of scooterists, and that is, what do we do if we find ourselves halfway through a curve and we need to come to a rapid stop? So that's corner braking. Just before I do, I'd like to thank those people that have been sending positive comments on our previous videos, and it's really nice to see so many people want to improve their riding skill. So corner braking. Why would we need to find ourselves having to come to a rapid stop in a corner? Well, one reason might be that we've gone into the corner too fast. Another one might be that there is an obstacle, such as maybe a tree has fallen across the road, or maybe even there's been an accident. So what do we need to do? First off, let's think back to one of our previous videos, and that is on braking. We know that to do any effective braking, the motorcycle needs to be upright and the handlebars straight, so we can transfer the weight down onto the front tyre. If we try and brake while we're still leant over in a curve, there's a good chance that we'll lose traction and we'll fall off. So halfway through a curve, the first thing we need to do is get the scooter upright and the handlebars straight. How do we do that quickly? I'm going through a curve. Let's say it's a left-hand curve, so I have my left handle grip lowest. To straighten up, what I need to do is roll off the throttle and apply forward pressure to the high hand grip, in this instance the right one. As I do that, the scooter comes up, the handlebars straighten. Once that is the case, now I can go into my normal braking technique, reaching out with 4 fingers, apply the setup, take out the little bit of free play and then progressively squeeze. I'm now braking with the rear brake, 4 fingers, take out the free play and a small amount of pressure. Because of the weight transfer, we don't want to apply too much to the rear brake. Keeping my head up for balance and continue to brake in a straight line. Don't be tempted to continue steering while you're braking, because again, we may lose traction. This may mean that you're actually heading to the wrong side of the road, but this is where we get our maximum braking power from. So think about the good separation. Halfway through the curve, roll off the throttle, push on the high bar. This gets the scooter upright and straight. Now the normal braking, 4 fingers set up, squeeze, rear brake set up, squeeze, head up and brake in a straight line. If we've got a few things going for us that we set into place before we started cornering, this works very well. Before we enter the corner, we need to think about having as much vision as we can. So we enter our corner wide so we can see at least 5 seconds ahead. Now if we see that problem while it's still 5 seconds ahead, we do have lots of time to get the scooter upright straight and then brake in that straight line. Another part about our cornering technique is start out wide, and in the middle of the curve, we should be in the middle of our lane. That's creating a buffer zone away from oncoming traffic. That buffer zone also allows us, if we need to straighten up and brake, we still have a fair bit of room to brake in a straight line. Once we've come to a stop, remember our ready position. Rear brake on, front brake off and head up. If we need to move off quickly, mirrors, head check, and we're gone. Let's have a look at this in practice. I'm going to approach my corner wide with good vision. As I'm coming up to it, I see there's something that I need to stop for, like upright, handlebars straight and braking in a straight line. Mirrors, head check, and move off. Let's analyse what we just saw. You saw me enter the corner nice and wide, so I had a good forward view of what was coming up, and I was able to identify early that there was a problem and I had to stop. Next you saw me straighten the scooter up. I did that by rolling off the throttle and pushing on the high hand grip. Once the scooter was upright and the handlebars were straight, I was able to go into my emergency braking, which is reach out with 4 fingers, take out the free play, which is the setup, and then begin to progressively squeeze. Join in with a bit of rear brake, 4 fingers, and gently squeeze. We don't want to overdo the rear brake because of the weight transfer. I continue braking in a straight line until I come to a complete stop. Then it's mirrors, head check, then I can move off safely. This is about the only safe technique to brake through a corner. Any other theory will either have us not braking enough and we won't be able to stop, or we'll lose traction and we'll fall off. Like any braking, this needs to be practiced. Just learning about it won't be enough if you need to use this in the real world. So practice, and remember, what we practice is what we do in real life, so practice it as perfectly as you can. I hope you never have to use this technique in the real world, but if you do, you'll be pleased that you've learnt it and you've practiced it. For this technique and any other safe riding tips, come and see us at Hart. Safe riding.